what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. I am George E, king of the fucking castle, and I am here with my lovely co-host and wife,
Leslie E, and I'm the mama bear.
And today's episode is a very special episode because we got some of the head guys for one of our sponsors, Basic Roofing. TX.com is actually here. If you guys might have known, there is Hurricane Florence just struck the Carolinas and much part of that region. And it's basically, we're seeing again a repeat of what happened in Texas when Hurricane Harvey, was it Hurricane Harvey that came in?
Yeah.
And today we are joined in studio by Juan.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Thanks for that leaning in on the mic. I love that. We're also going to be having one of his partners join us on the phone. He's actually in the Carolinas right now, so we actually have a correspondent on location of where all this tragedy is happening. In these moments when stuff like this happens, you know, I think one of the main things that people don't realize is that people's, you know, entire livelihood, their homes, they're going to completely, you know, they're going to be completely destroyed. And this is where these guys come into play. The same insurance company that you're paying every year, you know, to, you know, protect your home from all these kind of catastrophes, they come in and they make sure that they go through them. They go through your insurance and they get all the repairs done on your house. Sometimes the insurance company, and we've talked about this on other episodes where...
insurance companies suck, basically.
They suck, guys. You guys are paying every year to make sure that these insurance companies, you know...
Don't have your back.
Yeah, and they don't sometimes. I mean, like we've said before, these people go to seminars where they get trained to basically give you the least amount of money to repair. And they don't care if, you know, catastrophe just happened to your home. They don't care. All they care about is money, dollar signs. That's all they care about. They don't care about the well-being of anybody whose home was stricken. Well, this company actually makes sure that they go through your insurance company and they make sure that they pay top dollar, complete repair for everything that has happened. And in these moments, that's the best peace of mind you can have, is to know that
at least some, you know, the thing that you've been paying for at least could fix your home.
Now, that just doesn't mean that it's going to, you know, bring back any, you know, anything like, you know, family photographs. You know, sometimes that stuff is lost, but the most that you can get back is, you know, your home and a little bit of peace of mind knowing that somebody's got your back. And that's where BasicRoofingTX.com comes into play. These guys have been in the business for many years. They got many years of experience. And like we've told you guys in the past, they will come to your house, give you a free inspection. Even if the area that you're in is not necessarily Texas or the Carolinas, have you had hail damage? Have you had wind damage? They can come and take a look at your property and make sure that it gets repaired in a timely manner and through your insurance. Bottom line. And yeah, you have to pay your deductible. But isn't that better than, you know, paying a $500 deductible, $800 deductible, whatever your deductible is? It's better than
new roof.
Yeah, than a roof that could cost you tens and thousands of dollars. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about that as well as other things. We want to say thank you for coming on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
What's going on there?
Oh, my throat. It's
like
Red Bull.
It sounded like you had a dick in your mouth.
Earlier I did.
Earlier you did? Fucking Susie. Well, guys, we're going to be having a lot of great episodes coming up. Halloween is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, that's all George talks about, pretty much.
He just wants to eat the candy.
I just want to eat the candy. That's it. I want to eat the candy. We have a lot of great episodes coming up for you guys. One of the main things we want to do is make sure we incorporate a lot of stories that are sent in from you guys, the listeners. We're going to be based around a lot of that. We want to know your guys' stories of anything that you guys have ever had that is paranormal, that has happened to you. It may not have happened to you. It could have happened to your mom, your cousin, your uncle, whatever, somebody you know. Everybody, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've talked to people before, and everybody's told you a story, right, about something paranormal that's happened. I know my mom's told us tons of stories of stuff that has happened paranormal-wise. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that people write in, message us, call us in even. We're going to be taking live phone calls during the recordings at the studio. And we want you guys to tell us the paranormal stories you guys got. If it has nothing to do with spirits and demons, let us know about some UFOs. I definitely want to hear that. We're going to be having one of my friends, Dave Pulowski, come into the studio, and he's going to be bringing us some of the craziest conspiracy stories that I've ever heard. And this is something that personally happened to him and his family.
So it's legit.
It's legit. Yeah, I mean, you guys should have seen the message he sent me. It was a lot. It's hard to swallow, but But I'm pretty sure, speaking of swallowing, it must be easy for Juan. He's I mean, you heard him. Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm not trying to ride on the guest here, but trust me, guys, this guy's not a gentle giant here. All right?
And George likes to ride. What can I say?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like to ride. Son of a bitch.
Well, speaking of paranormal, you remember what happened in the basement of the old house we used to live in the court?
Yeah.
Some pretty creepy stuff.
Why don't you tell us about that? What ended up happening when you were tearing down the wall? I heard the stories, but why don't you tell us the story about
so I was tearing down the 2-bedroom walls, to make a bigger bedroom. And when I got down to the studs, I had all the, pieces of drywall that fell in between the studs. And when I was cleaning them out, there was a book. It was a self-cover book. But it was about torture, about torturing women. And as soon as we picked it up, we took it to the living room. My wife, before she was my wife, we were still dating. And she opened the book. And for some odd reason, she decided to, read it from the back.
And how did the book look?
It was a pretty old book.
Well, the house was built, what, like 1960 something?
I would say somewhere around there, 60s, 70s.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, it was just crazy because as soon as she opened up the book and she was about to read it, the book literally, you can say it launched off her hands. Because, if you have something in your hands and your palms are open, if you drop a book, it's going to go straight down.
Right.
The book went upwards and forward, so it's not like it
had trajectory.
Exactly. So I mean, that just the content of the book and what happened afterwards, it scares the crap out of me. I still remember just getting up from the couch and running. My wife claims that I pushed her down to the couch, to kind of project myself and run faster.
And we all believe her.
Innocent until proven guilty. Nobody was there. So. It didn't happen.
All right. You didn't push your wife to get away from the demonic beings.
No.
But in this basement, this wasn't the only thing.
No, it wasn't. I don't know if you remember, if you went into the closet, into the back room.
Right.
It was all wood panel.
Well, majority of the basement was wood panel.
Well, yeah.
On the outer walls.
Yeah. But just inside this closet, if you remember, there was the wood grain on the panels. It had an image of a woman's face, kind of like a witch.
Yeah.
And it was just very creepy and eerie just looking at it.
Right.
So it all started from there, and one of our cousins, Jose, he used to live down there, and I remember him telling stories of seeing a woman in black, dressed in black, and he was not the only one that supposedly saw that person.
Right. There was multiple people who claimed that.
And and this was people that didn't even know about the story.
Right.
That said that they had seen it. So it was some pretty creepy stuff going on in that basement.
And you want to know something crazy? Man, folks, I really hate to bring this down to drugs all over again. This is not intentional, people. But this is once again going back to when we were younger. We were kids. We were wild kids, just like anybody else, experimenting. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but whenever you guys do stuff that's a hallucinogen, such as whether it's LSD or mushroom stuff like that, and you do it with other people, you guys almost connect on a spiritual level, where what you're seeing is literally what. If you see something and you're visually tripping on something, chances are the people that you're tripping with, you guys will see similar stuff. It's like you guys are in the same movie, so to speak. One day we were tripping in the basement. It was me. It was Mario. I think Marlon was there. Courtney was there. I forgot how many other people were there. But we were all down there. We were all tripping the same amount. And we're all sitting down there. And you kind of felt the vibes in the room turn really dark and just, you could tell everybody's kind of uneasy, right? And we started to see something crawl on the floor, right? And we're like, what the hell was that? And at first we're like, whoever, I think it was Marlon who says, like, I just saw something run underneath the door. The hell? Then Courtney saw it, and then I'm like, oh, they're full of shit. They're in on it together, right? But then me and Mario saw it. So we're scared. We're like trying to, rationalize this. We're like, this is a mouse. This is a mouse. It's nothing crazy. This is just a mouse running underneath the door. We end up chasing this thing to see where the hell it was. And this is the part that's still reality. It was a mouse. And the son of a bitch was fat, and he got stuck underneath the door. And we're all standing around this mouse, stuck halfway underneath the door going into the laundry room. And we're just staring at it. Like a bunch of weirdos, right? But the vibe still felt eerie. We're like, oh, dude, what the fuck? It's just a mouse. And then the thing flipped inside, and we all just kind of like came back to our senses, I guess, so to speak. And we look over to the left to that wood panel wall there in the living room, and it looked like blood was like running down. You remember that? And here's where it gets crazy. You could say one person saw it and tripped out, but it was like all of us were surrounding the mouse, right? And when we all turned around to look at the wood panel wall, at the same time we're like, what the fuck? Why is it? And Courtney's like, dude, there's blood running down the wall. And we're like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing. What the hell? We came up to the wood panel, like slowly, dude. It was crazy. It literally looked like blood was just running down the wall. And I was like, what the hell? And we came up, and eventually we had the courage to go touch it. And it looked like there was blood running, but you touched it, and it was dry to the touch. After that, we kind of realized, like, all right, we told everybody, there's some creepy shit going on in this basement since we first moved in here. I don't know if you remember when we first moved in there. We were scared to fully go into like, there was something that kept you away from getting in too deep.
Yeah, I mean, I remember every time I would go upstairs, I would literally run up the stairs because I felt like something was going to chase me.
Right,
or pull me
right,
down.
yeah, you get that feeling of being unwanted and down in the basement. And I never feel that in any other basement.
And I don't know if you remember when our brother Israel lived there with us, and he had his daughter's picture.
Yes, I remember that.
That was some pretty creepy stuff too. That image on the picture frame.
And there was 2 photos. That's the crazy thing, that we had a chance to compare it with 2 photos. One of the photos, you could see it. Like, this was from a different time the photo was taken. And you see that same picture frame, and it's his daughter. You look at a different photo from a different time, and you saw, like, the image of, like, death, almost like a robe kind of figured kind of thing. So that basement is filled with all kinds of stuff. I mean, not to mention all the knockings that you would hear in that smaller bedroom. Although I had left the one my dad ended up building down there. You would hear these knocking sounds and these scratching sounds. And it was just an eerie basement.
It was.
And it's crazy because, I mean, we've, with the work that we've done in the past, we were in people's basements all the time. We were in people's basements that, homes in Chicago that were like old. Remember that basement we had to spray? It was in Chicago, that asbestos still.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, these are basements that clearly have more history and all that. You would think that I never once felt anything like super uneasy down there.
Yeah, and this was a finished basement.
Right, and then you go back home and we're in a finished basement and it's our home and you feel way more uneasy than you would in somebody else's basement. It almost makes you wonder more what the hell had happened down there. So many stories to tell about that basement, but it was definitely something eerie. And these are the kind of stories that we want you guys to message us and, do not be shy. Feel free to send us, whether it's our Instagram, if you follow us at 2 Sushi Rolls Podcast on Instagram, make sure to follow us, give us a like, and DM us. Tell us your story. If you don't want to type it all out and you would like to call and we can get a recording of you telling the story, when we're recording the show, even better. But we want you guys to flood us in with all these paranormal stories that you guys got out there. I know right now we're actually going to be working on, finding more of these stories. And, we have to reframe his show. But Mo is actually, for his show, he's going to be talking about Skinwalker Ranch for his first episode of the October show, which we want to just basically flood with a whole bunch of paranormal stuff. And I think it's going to be great. The research he's got is fantastic. So we hope you guys stick around to his show as well. And stick around for our show as well and listen. Well, we're going to get back on track with everything that's happening right now with Hurricane Florence. What's something you can tell us about what's going on out there right now to just kind of get us away from this paranormal vibe? I'm scared.
I mean, other than, it's a catastrophe,
Yeah, this is real fear now.
Yeah, a lot of people have, lost their homes, due to it, a lot of their belongings. And, I mean, as you can see in the news, the sad things that people are leaving their animals behind. You see that a lot.
So, yeah, I mean, I seen livestock floating up in the water.
You see dogs abandoned, cats. It's like, why not take them with you? If you're leaving your house, you know, you're fleeing, why leave your pets behind? You know, but it's just, you know, it's the catastrophe out there, you know, it's just insane. You know, I couldn't even imagine having, you know, losing my property and not having any sort of control over it. You know, I think that's the hardest thing, I think, to, you know, to think about. You know, all we can do is, you know, try to go and help people out as much as we can, but, you know, trying to be in their shoes, you know, it's something hard to just imagine, you know, that, you know, you're gonna lose your home, lose a lot of your belongings, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. It's a helplessness feeling.
Yeah.
And Mario had told us a little bit about how people were actually standing on the side of the road outside of their homes putting up signs saying, we got insurance, we need contractors. I mean, there's so many people who are looking to get their house back in order after these catastrophes that there's too many for our local contractors to take care of.
Yeah, well, I mean, imagine, you know, how many contractors could be in the city, and everybody's being devastated by this, you know. You know, a contractor could only do so much.
Right.
You know, so that's why we go out of state and try to help people as much as we can.
Now, right now, your business partner, Everardo, he's actually right now in the Carolinas. Now, I had seen that he had messaged a few people from, what's that roofing page that you guys like, that you guys are on Facebook?
SVG?
SVG, which stands for?
Storm Ventures Group.
Storm Ventures Group. So he was on the Storm Ventures Group, and I believe he was relaying information to other people who were around there. They're having a little bit of a conversation. He said that he's equipped with power generators, fuel, water, and he's offering help out
The
there.
humidifiers. And, you know, that's another great thing that I love about that website is that, you know, it's a lot of contractors, roofers, you know, getting together with each other, you know, and helping each other out. There's a guy out there, he actually, the first thing he said, you know, if any of you guys are, you know, thinking about coming out here, my shop is in this location. You guys are more than welcome, you know, to come, you know, set base, you know, for a couple days, you know, until you guys, you know, decide what you guys are doing, you know. And not a lot of people do that, you know, especially being a contractor, you know, everybody wants, you know, everything for themselves.
Right.
But, you know, that's what I found out in the roofing industry, that, you know, a lot of contractors are out there, you know, to help each other out.
Yeah, it's a tight-knit community, basically.
That's awesome.
And it's an industry that's growing immensely. And I mean, it's a great thing for people who are actually going out there and doing this. But it's a sad reality of why there's such a demand for this. It's because people are, I mean, climate is changing. Things, you know, the climate's not what it used to be. The sea levels are rising. It's causing all these kind of catastrophes, and it's crazy to say, like, yeah, you know, there's this new industry people can get into and make a great living, but at the same time, it's happening because of
Other people's,
you know, shit from, you know, generations and generations of us polluting this earth, and, you know, all kinds of. I mean, there's an island out in the sea. It's a garbage island.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't see that. And a lot of people don't believe in, you know, global warming, but it's a real thing, and it's happening.
And do you believe that global warming is something that's real?
I do.
You're wholehearted.
I do. I mean, you know, for generations, like you say, you know, us as humans, we've been damaging this world,
Yeah.
you know, polluting it.
I mean, even something as little as livestock. If you go back to, like, the Renaissance, there wasn't, you know, mass cow farms where, you know, they're, you know, raising cattle, you know, to be made into either hamburgers or, you know, to produce mass amounts of milk. These villages had maximum, like, let's say what, like maybe 15 fucking cows? Mm-hmm. We're to the point where we have pigs crowded in these, you know, large acres that are, you know, causing all kinds of methane fumes. Their waste literally just gets put into, like, man-made ponds that, you know, that's where they run the blood, that's where they run feces, that's where they... That's all pollutants, and we're putting it in there.
And then, as a generation, you know, we're getting used to everything that, you know, that's disposable.
Right.
You know, everything's disposable, you know, because it's cheaper. So all that disposable things go somewhere, you know, ends up in the ocean, you know.
Ends up in the ocean and ends up in our water.
Exactly.
There's microplastics in our water that are, like, pretty soon they're going to be impossible to filter out.
Yeah.
Impossible to filter out.
Yeah.
I would say that this is considered irreversible damage.
I mean, they're trying to with like the whole straws now.
Correct,
Yeah, but that's only a small step.
It's a small step, and it's only like what California is the only one implementing it.
And
Well, like Starbucks.
And not everybody wants to do it. I mean, I gotta say I'm guilty of it. I went to the aquarium, and in the aquarium they don't have straws anymore. What happened? I had a juice box. I busted out the straw and I put it in my drink. You know, because my kids' juice boxes. My wife got a coffee at Starbucks that's in there, and no straws or lids.
Wow.
So it's one of those where like I can't do that. So I took out a straw that I had in the diaper bag. You know, it's stuff like that. You know, that not everybody's willing to put in their part.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
How are we ever going to enjoy our caramel frappuccinos from Starbucks?
and that's exactly what it was. My caramel frappuccino.
Wow. Wow.
You need that strap.
Well, it's those situations where we know we can't pull ourselves away from using straws. We need to, find ways to, make. I mean, yeah, it's easier to say we're just going to throw the straw away. Why don't we find reusable straws? I know that there's tons of people now actually getting into the industry where they're making, metal straws, collapsible straws, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that, and also plates. Plates,
Right.
like edible plates.
Edible plates. That has been for a while. And see, that's another thing. That's one of those things that hemp could literally fix. If people would stop fucking around with making hemp look like such a bad thing, hemp plates could be, like disposable hemp plates, could literally be made that don't damage the environment. I mean,
I'm more for the edible, plates.
you want to eat the plate.
Yeah, might as well.
Well, then
What does it taste like?
they say it tastes like nothing. It's just it's like
A rice cracker?
Like
I heard it smells like plate, but tastes like chicken.
So we're gonna get Everardo on the line. He's gonna tell us a little bit more of what's going on down there. He's actually in location, so I think he's got a little bit more of insight on the actual situation and what we can do about it.
Yeah, he was actually on his way as the hurricane was happening.
As it was
As it
happening?
was happening, he was on the road. He actually had a lot of trouble getting in. All the roads were pretty much blocked. He had to wait, I think it was a day, so that he could actually get in to where all the damages were.
Gotcha. All right, let's get him on the line real quick. Let me get my trusty Skype going. It was acting a fool on us. Skype, you gotta improve that.
Yeah, George hates Skype.
I hate Skype. It had me raging in here right now. I felt like a gorilla without a banana.
Yeah.
Once you guys get to know George, he hates everything.
Hey, can you hear us, Everardo?
Oh, no, Mom.
Let's see if we can get him on. What's going on here? Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, just make sure we're not muted.
We're not muted.
No, I meant on his end. He muted himself.
Yo.
Oh, there we
Hey,
go.
what's going on? We finally got you in. Welcome to Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. Thank you for joining us, man.
Oh, no problem, man. How y'all doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We were actually just discussing right now what's happening in the Carolinas. Now, we were just informed that you actually started heading towards the Carolinas well before the storm was even over. I mean, the storm was still in process when you were heading over there?
It hadn't made landfall. I was probably like, I'd say about 18 hours out before it hit landfall. So as soon as I got there, shit was going on. It's crazy, So what I did is I just kind of like stood back about 2-3 hours away from the storm.
Gotcha.
And for about a day, I just bunkered down there. And then as soon as it hit landfall, you see people coming towards me, like towards, I guess, west of the states.
Uh-huh.
And
So they're watching you come in while they're trying to evacuate.
yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
Wow.
They're pretty much saying, hey, you're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
You're like, I forgot my dog.
All the lanes are open,
Wow.
like even on my side, some cars were coming towards that way, towards the opposite way.
Oh.
And now what's some of the devastation that you have witnessed on the short period of time that you've actually been over there?
Look, I stationed at it was by Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So I'm pretty a good ways away.
Okay.
And it's normally on a good day, it takes 2 hours to get where the eye of the storm hit.
Gotcha.
It took me at one point 7 hours to get there because I was trying to head to get there, and there was a roadblock because the water was so high. I mean, I seen cars floating, trucks floating. They wouldn't even let boats in because the current was so strong.
Wow.
Wow.
So I'll go back, go another way, and the same thing, roadblock.
And what was your mission showing up to the Carolinas? We were talking a little bit about how you guys are actually bringing as much aid as you guys could possibly bring. When these storms hit, we actually touched on the fact that there's a shortage of contractors out there who are available to get people's houses back in order and, you know, back to livability. What was one of your main goals when you started heading that way? What were you trying to accomplish?
First things first is help people. Like on the side of the road, there's people without gas. I mean, I gave cases of waters like before I even got on the roof. That's first thing, you know. First things first, like human nature, you help one another. I mean, you see a lot of crazy things out there that you don't see on a normal day, like people helping out each other, which is kind of, you know, you should be seeing that every day. But it's people uniting, man. It really is.
And it's always during these situations where people are in duress that people finally kind of find a way to put their differences aside and actually start helping each other.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's a shame that it has to get down to such extreme measures for people to finally realize, like, hey, you know what, let's help each other out. But I'm really happy to hear that Basic Roofing is actually out there helping the people first and foremost. And we also appreciate you guys being a sponsor of the show. You guys help us make it happen. And right now, we'd actually like to let you guys know that, as always, BasicRoofingTX.com is our sponsor. You guys know the drill. If you guys have any leaks coming in your roof, any kind of damage, and even if you don't know if you guys got any kind of damage in your roof, you guys give these guys a call. They'll come in, you know, give you a free inspection. They'll literally send you photos. They'll highlight any of the shingles that are actually damaged. Because if you're already seeing a water spot in your ceiling or you're noticing any kind of damage like that, it can get really bad really quick. Especially when you're in the Midwest area. You're going to notice a lot of that damage immediately, and it can cause more long-term damage, right?
Yeah, definitely, especially when it's super windy. There's a lot of wind damage.
Right. So what you guys want to do is, if you're in the Texas area, you guys want to go on to BasicRoofingTX.com. You guys will find all their contact information. Give those guys a call, email, message, and they'll get to you as soon as possible. And if you guys are in the Illinois area, there is BasicRoofingIL.com, and you guys give them a call, and they'll do the exact same thing. They'll come in, give you a free inspection on your home, make sure that no more damage happens. And as you guys are now hearing, they're right now in the Carolinas. So we will make sure we'll continue to give you guys updates on what is happening, the damage, and what's the estimated time that the Carolinas are expected to get back into shape? I mean, you're specifically from Texas, correct?
Yes, we serve. Well, I am originally from Chicago, but I've been staying in Texas for about 11 years now, so I guess I am adopted now from Texas.
Nice. Now, one of the main things that I wanted to ask you was, after Hurricane Harvey, how long has it been now for Texas to get back into shape? Is Texas back into shape? Is there still more work to be done?
There's still more projects needing to get done out there. Several of them, probably in the thousands.
Wow.
But it's like how you said, there's a shortage of contractors. I mean, Texas is a big state. The Harvey storm was a big storm, and there's not enough contractors in the state of Texas just to serve that. So that's why a lot of out-of-towners come to give us a hand, and even then it's not sufficient.
And so how long has it been since Hurricane Harvey actually hit the Texas area?
It's been over a year.
It's been over a year. Wow. And there's still people who haven't gotten help.
Yeah, you still see damage
there's some
out there.
people that completely lost their homes, so they're rebuilding an entire home.
Wow.
And but they got to take a number. It's one of those that you got to, hey, could you wait until we finish? You're probably the last house on the block, but we're coming down from 5 miles away, working our way down.
Wow. So it's, once again, folks, it's like we've told you before. Can you turn down your radio a little bit? We're getting a little bit of feedback.
All right, is that better? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's like we're telling you before, folks, some of the stuff that is happening right now, these people are still struggling to get past this damage. And it's like we've told you guys in the past week. You know, people are putting out signs. People are desperate for this kind of help, and it's a shame that, you know, there isn't enough people. But folks, you got to understand, there's nothing people could do, and you're talking about projects that could take anywhere between 2 days to weeks to months. I mean, you guys just got done finishing a project for an actual school in Texas, correct?
Yes, Yorktown High School.
And you know, what was the extent of the damage that you guys took care of out there?
That one was, I believe, yeah, it was also a storm claim. What was going on is, I guess, hail had messed up the roof, and it started rusting because it was a metal roof, and that's obviously a big no-no, especially when kids are playing underneath that roof because it was an auditorium.
And actually, while we were working there, we had another storm come in. It wasn't a huge storm. It was more of a rainstorm, and it damaged their auditorium. So the auditorium, they had just remodeled it. They had spent over $100,000 remodeling the inside, and their roof just got so bad that it damaged all of the interior.
And now, is this one of the jobs that you guys actually went through the insurance company to make sure that the insurance company covered the whole thing?
Not in this case. In this case, the school was the one that had to come up with the funds.
And is that because they had already gone through their insurance to get this fixed before, or what was the dynamics between this?
Cousin, can you explain that one more into that? Hello? Cousin? Everardo. Guess we lost him.
You still there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I just can't hear Juan that well. But I mean, if you guys can check out our page on our basicroofingtx.com. What I'm doing is I'm taking a lot of photos out here, because you're probably watching the news. They're showing you some videos or some pictures, but I'm taking some raw pictures of real damage. I mean, you got to think about it. There's people out here that can help themselves. Go get gas, walk a few miles if they run out of gas. But you got to think about the elderly people also that can't even evacuate.
Right.
They're kind of out of luck. And I've seen a couple of people that are not even able to get on their roof to tarp it or to mitigate damages, or they're really stuck. So what you got to do is, what I do is I ask them if they would like help. But there's always some people that are kind of, hey, we don't know you. They probably think you're looters. But I try to come as professional as I can and provide them with whatever I got. Gas, I always carry 20 gallons of gas in the back of my truck, at least 5 cases of water. If not, I'll go back to Myrtle Beach and I'll stock up and I'll come back. And I mean, just imagine, 80,000 people living in this town. And there's probably about 10, not even like 5,000 police officers or emergency response units. How long is it going to take them to serve every single person? It's going to take a long time.
Wow. Yeah, and this is one of those things that I guess it's going to take maybe years for the repair to come. Thank you so much, Everardo, for actually joining us and letting us know a little bit firsthand of what's happening over there. Thank you for joining us. And folks, if you guys want to reach him specifically right now, if you guys are actually in the area where the devastation is happening, please give him a call. His phone number is 210-240-4124. His name is Everardo. Once again, the phone number is 210-240-4124. Please give him a call if you guys are in the area. You guys need some kind of help, aid. He will be in the area. Please give him a call. And thank you again, man, for being on the show and letting us know what is happening in there.
No problem, man. Man, your show's awesome. I've been listening to it since your first episode, man.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And all the listeners out there, man, thank you so much for supporting the show.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care.
All right, you take care. Thank you. Wow, this devastation is going to take years.
Yeah, that's really rough. I can't imagine.
And about the question you asked earlier about the school, if it was, through insurances, sometimes, a lot of the schools or churches don't really have insurance. So they have to, come out of pocket on a lot of these things.
And why is that, though? The states just don't overall get it?
Yeah, and sometimes, the deductible is too high. The deductible is too high, for example.
And what's some of the highest deductibles you guys have actually encountered? Because I know some people's deductibles could be anywhere between $500 to $800. I know there's higher ones out there, but that's about the average.
The highest one we've encountered was 15,000. 15,000, and this was on a, what would you call it, a manufactured home.
Wow,
So,
$15,000.
$15,000.
Basically, the price of their house. What the heck?
And I guess funny story to it was that their neighbor, we actually did their home, and months, you're talking about 2-3 months before Hurricane Harvey happened. One of his friends came up to him and was like, hey, I'm into the insurance thing, let me see what I could do for you. Got him, a great deal with a $1,000 deductible.
Mm-hmm.
So our customer went and told his next door neighbor, hey, you know what? I have a friend, gave me a great deal. You should give him a call. He procrastinated on it, never called him back. Devastation happened. He was stuck with his $15,000 deductible, and unfortunately, he couldn't fix his house because he couldn't come up with the $15,000.
So basically, his deductible went up that high because of the fact that once he finally locked into another insurance company, a devastation had already happened, so it fluctuated.
No, that was his deductible from the get-go.
Right.
And he never changed
And
it
he
when
never
he had
changed
the
that
opportunity.
when our customer told him to change it. He never did it.
And then
Wow.
the devastation happened, and
Wow.
he was screwed, basically.
It's one of those things, folks, man. You guys can't procrastinate on stuff like that, man. Especially when you guys are playing with,
Your home?
your mortgage, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. It's the biggest investment you're literally going to take on in a lifetime. It's going to be your mortgage. My prayers go out to all these cities and states that have actually been devastated by this. I know the death count is going to continue to go up as soon as the waters start to clear, and unfortunately, this is where we need to unite. And it's like he said before, he's noticing people on the roads actually uniting, and it's a shame that it takes such devastation to literally bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
And here you got this Mexican dude going around giving people fuel. It just makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder what people's original thought of people like us was, and now, I mean, let's be honest, folks. I'm Mexican. Leslie is Cuban and Mexican. Mm-hmm. We're running a fucking show called Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. Neither one of us is Japanese. But we've got to unite people. Honestly, that's the point of it. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
We really got to unite, and it shouldn't take all of this crap to literally bring us together.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be going on Monday, right? You guys are leaving?
Yeah, we take off Monday morning around 5 a.m.
Mario, too?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to take 2 loaded trucks with, fuel.
And how are you guys filling up the fuel, by the way? That's one of my questions. I forgot to ask him while I was on the line with him. Where's he filling up his gas? Like, what vessels?
Big gas tanks.
Big gas tanks.
Big red gas
Whoa.
tanks.
We actually have a barrel we would like to donate to you guys for specifically that. I had talked to Mario about it. It's a huge red barrel.
Okay.
You could actually, it's specifically for fuel.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
You guys could actually use that for anything. You just have to do that. Look at that cocksucking grin.
You'll see.
I'm
You'll
sorry,
see on
guys,
the
but George
Facebook.
is looking at his mirror.
No, but we're more than willing to actually donate that to you guys.
Awesome.
I know it
Appreciate
could
it.
help out for fuel. It's a huge barrel.
Yeah.
It's a steel
It's
barrel.
taking up a lot of
Nice.
space.
I mean, it'll
in
help
there.
more if you fill it up with gas before we pick it up. But
Well, you know,
that's,
we gotta start somewhere. Huh?
look. This is the thing.
The sushi rolls are expensive, especially when they're salmon.
Exactly. Now listen to this. I don't know if Drake's ever told you, but the thing about wiring money from Bourbonnais to the Carolinas, it just doesn't meet up, man. But no, we're willing to help any way we can, and we appreciate you guys being sponsors to the show, making this happen, and of course, all you listeners out there who are helping the show stay afloat. We'd like to see more interaction on the actual social medias. Guys, we know you're listening.
Yeah,
Why are you
good.
guys so quiet?
Yeah.
Like, we go on our SS feed, we look at our analytics, and we're like,
Okay.
so there's more people listening that are actually interacting. Come on, guys, like the page, share the page, like our photos, and like I said, we're getting into this whole Halloween season. We really want to hear more of that spooky shit. Come
Give
on, bro.
us your stories. We're definitely interested. You can even record them. If you don't want to be live, you're scared of that, you could pre-record and send it to us too, and we'll play your clip.
Yeah, we'll play your clip.
You know what's scary? Store-bought sushi. That's scary.
Don't say that.
That's scary.
It depends.
It depends where you're getting it from. But you know what? Sometimes you have to ball on the budget, ladies and gentlemen.
Balling on a budget.
Balling on a budget.
Sushi's definitely one of those.
But since we're on the topic of food, there's this clip I wanted to show you that's been going around. So this guy is getting arrested, and I guess it's in front of like a taco truck or something like that.
A food truck.
All right, folks. So this guy's getting arrested. It's this white guy. He's on the fucking floor. These cops are doing, and this Mexican girl. You're just like, damn. She's over here trying to litigate everything. Why don't we give you guys a little bit of taste of what's going on here? Hang on. Let me get the volume set over here. There we go.
Thank you, and we want them crispy.
Do you see that?
I can't believe we said it was a taco truck. What taco truck sells grilled cheese?
It's a food truck. It's a food truck. I said taco truck because that's what I'm craving right now.
I thought it was a quesadilla for a second.
That's what George said. He's like quesadillas. I'm like,
cheese.
it's grilled cheese.
You know what?
grilled
It's
cheese.
yeah, whatever. But it's whatever truck she's in front of. I mean, she's telling people to get back. I'm over here thinking she's trying to defuse the whole fucking situation. She's just trying to make sure she can get a comfortable order in without people fucking getting blood all over her shoes. Let's take a look again.
Oh fuck! Oh my god, he's bleeding.
Yeah, he's fighting the police.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. Don't fight the police, okay?
Don't fight the police. Some people are getting shot. She said his mouth is bleeding. The cop's like, well, he's fighting the police.
When somebody says, you're right, they had something to drink.
Right.
Don't fight the police. You'll end up bleeding.
Don't fight the police. You'll end up bleeding.
I'm so scared.
I'm so scared.
Right. This is crazy.
Don't fight the police or your wife. You'll end up bleeding.
But did you notice how the whole scene was chaotic right before she started telling people to get back? Like, everybody was trying to get their fucking input in, and she's like, get back. And everybody just automatically starts listening to her. Like,
Yeah,
everybody settles down. She's over here telling the guy, don't fight the police. And he's like, you're right. I shouldn't have fucking fought him.
He's on the floor bleeding, but
It's
you're
too
right,
late
girl.
now, man. What the fuck is going on in the United States, man? You know, coming from an immigrant, and I'm talking about myself, the United States is getting a lot of shit that's starting to look like a lot of foreign countries you guys just so happen to fucking dislike. I mean, this is something you'd see in Mexico City, dude. I mean, people are just like, they're losing all morals, man. Dude, the United States literally was the place people wanted to move to because of the fact that it was one of the greatest nations. I mean, it was the American dream. Who didn't want the American dream? I know a lot of people still want it. But I'm going to tell the same thing to everybody in America that I'm telling everybody who is in Mexico right now is, if you want to see some kind of change, you guys have to be part of the change. It's like I was telling you guys earlier. We get not earlier, but in previous episodes, you know, people are like, you know, Trump isn't making America great again. All right, if he's not making it great again, which I 100% agree with you guys, all right? But before you even ask that or point out that he's not making America great again, ask yourself, how are you making America great again?
You're right. Everybody has to do their part.
Everybody has to do their part. It's what John F. Kennedy said, you know? And I said it before, even though I might have butchered the, the quote. It's, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Make sure when you guys go to the Shed Aquarium, you guys don't use your kids' juice box straw and on your coffee.
on your
just
frappuccino.
Make a change.
Start small.
You got to start small. You guys got to make some kind of change. It's crazy out there, man. It's crazy out there. But I don't know. I hope America can fix themselves. Like I've mentioned before, guys, please send us all your juicy stories. All your juicy stories. Next week, we are going to be having a busy recording day. We have two guests, guys. We got Recluse, the artist Recluse, also known as Will. Well, I should say Will, a.k.a. Recluse. He's actually going to be in the studio recording an episode for us. But we also got another guest, a very special photographer. We talked about him before. Orion the Hunter Photography, correct?
Yes.
Be sure you
check out his Instagram.
Yeah, why don't you tell him what his handle is?
It's Orion the Hunter. Orion Hunter.
Orion the Hunter Photography on Instagram, correct?
Yes.
Now, he's going to be joining us in the studio as well. So that day, we're doing a double recording for you folks. And then the following week, on October 6th, what else do we got?
We got another double recording.
We got another double recording. We got Joe Cepeda, which I'm so excited for him to come in. I know you're out there listening, Joe. All right.
Hi, Joe.
All right.
His name's Jose, but I call him Joe. All right?
Yeah.
Because we're in America. No, I'm just playing. Jose is actually going to be coming in. And he says he's got a surprise for the show. This guy's, dude, if you think you know about food, and I know I'm a food snob. I can be kind of a dick when it comes
No,
on.
you're just a fat ass.
I'm a fat ass. I'll admit it. All right? Like DJ Khaled said, I ordered 3 McGriddles. It was 6. It was 6. No, but we're going to be having Jose Cepeda come in. He says he's got a gift for the show, and I really want to pick his brain on a lot of stuff that has to do with food, man. He's seen a lot, dude. Very adventurous eater. Can't wait to see him. I haven't seen him in years. I think the last time I saw him was when we were having Winter Jack back in, gosh, what was that? What year was that? 2016? Maybe even before that, 2015?
14.
20,
Probably
man,
14.
Shit.
No, well,
4
let's
years
see. We've
ago?
been traveling for about 5 years now, so it's 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago was the last
13.
time. Yeah, last time I saw him was at one of our events. There was a lot of people that actually went to school that showed up to that event, and they were like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I was like, I'm one of the people who like literally threw this thing together. It's me and my 2 brothers and stuff. And he was there. He surprised me because he's a huge fan of punk rock music, as I was back in the day. I still am, but he stayed very faithful to that scene. Yeah, but I can't wait to have him on, man. Can't wait to have you on, brother. Can't wait to hear some stories and some food that you've encountered lately, and I can't wait to see what that surprise you're bringing on the show is. Thank you so much for coming. And who else were we gonna have
Who
that day? It was Jose Cepeda, and who else?
Wait, what day was that? The 13th?
The October 6th.
Oh, the 6th. You know, I don't...
We have somebody else booked for that day.
Yeah, we're so busy. We have like a calendar. full
Yeah,
of all
folks,
these
and
meetings.
it's no disrespect to any of the guests that we're going to be having on those days to record. It's just we've been getting so booked.
Like I literally have a text message conversation right now with more people.
Right, and so we're sorry for the disrespect if that's what it's coming off as, but it's definitely not like that. We're just really booked. I'm also going to be in communications with one of my friends. He's going to be throwing another event. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that. We're actually barely going to meet in the office here on Tuesday to discuss a little bit more. And hopefully, if we make a deal, we'll be able to let you guys know a little bit more about that and what he's got going on. And as always, guys, follow us on social medias. On Facebook, you can find us at Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Alexa, Stitcher.com. The list goes on, folks. Basically anywhere. The podcast has become very popular, and we thank you guys so much for listening. We thank you to all of you who are actually engaging. And we hope to continue to see you guys coming in, and we hope to give you guys better content every episode. That's our main goal. Literally right now, that's basically the main goal, is to make sure that we keep an audience happy. We love what we're doing. This isn't something that it feels forced or anything like that.
No.
We do enjoy coming into the studio every week and figuring out what we're going to talk to you guys about. And we hope you guys enjoy what we talk to you guys about too, whether it be on your way to work, whether while it's working out, whatever you guys are doing out there. We're happy to bring our conversations to you guys. And don't forget to contact us if you would like to be a guest on any of the episodes. And if you have anything you guys want to promote, come in on the show, talk a little bit about life, chit chat, do whatevs.
And guys, make sure you guys like them on Facebook and share. You guys share, silly stuff like, girls fighting over grilled cheese. Doesn't take anything, to hit share and like.
Right.
Make sure you guys do it. Share the love.
Yeah, definitely.
Support the crew.
Yeah,
Support
because
the
you
music.
loving the crew. Loving the crew.
That's what they used to tell George. He used to love the crew.
I used to love the crew. Fuck you. Anyways, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, dude.
No, thank you,
I really
bro,
appreciate it.
for having me here. Really appreciate it. And I'm actually glad I was able to be here. I'm always traveling, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And as always, guys, thank you for listening. See you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you.
Later.